Okay, for our next part of this project, we're going to make a 1/2 inch grid on our portrait photo. To do this, we want to look at the ruler, and we're going to see that in between each of our inch marks, there's a long hash, and that long hash equals a 1/2 inch. So every time when we're measuring, we're going to make a dot at the 1/2 inch mark and at the inch, then the half, then the inch. Okay, and that's so that this grid matches up perfectly with our grid on the drawing paper. For this one, we want to use a soft pencil, a 4B in this case, because your photo is dark. If you use a light colored pencil, like an HB, it's not going to show on top of the photo. So instead, we're going to use a 4B. Make sure your pencil lead is nice and sharp. We're only going to draw the grid on top of the photograph itself, not the white margin. Okay, so I'm only measuring from the photo. You should notice that your photograph is 6 inches wide. So to begin, I'm going to slide up towards the top of my photograph, and every 1/2 inch, I'm going to make a measurement, a mark. Every 1/2 inch. So that means that the 1/2 inch marks and the inch marks. Okay, now I'm going to slide to the bottom and do exactly the same thing. Remember, I'm only making my measurements based on the photograph size, not on the paper size. Okay, now that I've made those measurements, I'm going to align my ruler. Now we have to be very accurate with this because we can't erase on this photo. If we try to erase, it's actually going to erase parts of the photo. You'll see that because I'm using a dark graphite, it should show up pretty well on this photo. Now, whereas on the drawing paper I said draw lightly, on this one we want to draw dark so that we can see the grid. This photograph is exactly half the size of your drawing paper. So we want the grid to be exactly half the size of the grid that's on your drawing paper. Okay, so now that I have these vertical lines drawn, I'm going to rotate my paper sideways. And at the top of the paper, I'm going to make another set, top of the photo, rather, I'm going to make another set of 1/2 inch measurements. Hey there, what's up? Oh, I'm just recording a demo video. Sorry, let me put my mask on.
I'll come back later.
Okay, please do. Okay, every 1/2 inch, measuring just the photograph, so at the 1/2 inch marks and the inch marks. Okay, and now we're going to work our way across the image, making these lines. These lines will intersect just like the grid lines on our drawing paper. And once we've drawn all of these, we're going to make sure that we have the right number of grid squares. Just like Chuck Close said in his video, when you have a big problem, break it down into small pieces. Okay? So our big problem to solve is drawing this portrait. And so we're breaking it into small pieces by using the grid. Now here's a very, very important part. When we mark our grid with alphabet and numbers, we need to do it on the photo, not up in the margin, because we need this to match exactly with what's on our drawing paper. And so this square of our photograph, I'm going to zoom in so we can see this. This top left square of the photo is A. And the top row of the photo is where we mark the alphabet. And once again, it should go all the way over to L. This top square is also 1. We must mark directly on the photo, because if we don't, we will confuse where the location of these parts of our image should go in our grid. Okay, our grid must match our drawing paper. And we should end up with 18 again, just like we did before. Let's compare this to our drawing paper. Boom. And boom. Okay. So I should be able to see that the top left corner of the drawing paper and the photograph are A1. We go all the way over to L. Top left corner is A1. We go all the way down to 18. All right.